Hi, I'm Adam Greenspan, and I manage the QED Proof-of-Concept Program at the University City Science Center. We just opened our 2013 application cycle, and I wanted to record my information session for anyone who's not able to join in person during our campus visits. First, a little bit about the Science Center. We're a private nonprofit organization. We're founded back in 1963, and we're celebrating our 50th anniversary, as you can see here by the slide template. We manage a research park comprising 2 million square feet of real estate, and we're the oldest and largest urban research park in the United States. Our mission is technology-based economic development, and we operate a suite of commercialization programs in order to carry out that mission. The first program in the series of sequential programs is the QED program, which I manage. With QED, we are providing support to academic inventors and helping to facilitate the transition of their projects from academic labs into the private sector. We also have a new ventures support program where we have a menu of services that we provide to new companies as they're just starting out, ranging from incorporating as a new entity all the way through to fundraising, mainly utilizing the SBIR and SDTR government small business funding programs. We also have designated a small footprint within our campus as a startup incubator, and we have about 30 companies physically located within the incubator, occupying labs and office space. If you have any questions about any of these programs, you can contact me directly, or you can visit our website at www.sciencecenter.org. I'm going to spend the remainder of this discussion focusing on the QED program. There's 4 main components to the QED program, and it all starts with expertise in the biotech field. First, we take a team approach, complementing the technical contributions of the investigators with resources for providing business advisory assistance, including the technology transfer offices and QED business advisors. So we maintain a network of entrepreneurs, consultants, and industry veterans that offer commercial guidance and serve on a voluntary basis to help vet projects from critical product development angles. The investigators then get to walk away with a roadmap for getting their technologies on a path to market, which might actually be a little different than initially proposed. This is because we rely on a market process for evaluating projects coming through QED. We convene a panel of market players and life science investors to serve on the QED selection team twice a year to help review technologies, make recommendations, and provide feedback. We base our selections on their input. We also gather all their feedback and relay it back to the project teams. This is a unique opportunity to get your technology in front of 20 to 30 people whose job it is to make investments or partnership opportunities for their organization. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. This is where I tell you about our funding awards, but I think you'll see that it's really icing on the cake if you get to go through the whole QED process. That's because in addition to the funding, you're getting several hours of volunteer consulting time and access to a variety of different resources. What you should know about the funding is that it's a joint investment between QED and your institution, since they'll be matching the funds that we would offer. The goal of this funding is to address some critical information gaps to get to a go, no-go decision. We set the award at $200,000 for life science and $100,000 for digital health, each for 12 months with this specific goal in mind, as opposed to an R01 grant that could fund your lab and some postdocs or grad students for a few years. The last thing that the program provides is hands-on management by the QED staff. The type of support that you get will be specific to the needs of your project. We're not just mixing people together and seeing what happens. We're building teams of people with complementary skills and aligned interest and expertise. Then we'll help manage funded projects and supplement the efforts of the team from a research and commercial standpoint. We have a process for bringing projects through the QED program, and I'll just give you the high altitude view here so you can have an idea of what to expect. I can break it up into 3 phases, and we've just started the first with our request for white paper proposals that is posted now on our website. White papers are short and to the point. They're 3-page forms designed to get the essential information about the project from a commercial development standpoint, and that's it. We pose about 6 targeted question sets and ask you to answer with a short paragraph for each section. If you want some help, we're happy to sit down with you one-on-one and go through a draft of your white paper. At this point, we're only seeking non-confidential information, so we can get our selection team involved in the review of about 60 of these white papers. Then we'll pick about 15 projects to come back as finalists and prepare a full proposal that we call a proof-of-concept plan, which includes a specific R&D plan and a commercial strategy. This is when we assign the business advisors and offer access to some additional advisory resources over the course of 2 months until the plans are submitted. The teams then get to present their plans to our selection team, who makes funding recommendations. We'll select up to 4 projects to receive QED awards and implement their proof-of-concept plans over the ensuing 12 months. We'll continue working with the teams to track their progress in meeting milestones designed to help attract private funding after QED. We've had a lot of positive output so far after launching the program in April of 2009, and here are some of the highlights. Currently, there are 22 participating research organizations, which collectively represent over 95% of the academic life science research expenditure within a 75-mile radius of Philadelphia. Over 200 scientists have submitted at least one technology to the program in a white paper application, and over 50 proof-of-concept plans have been prepared with nearly every institution represented. We funded over 16 projects, committing $3 million to projects for 12-month critical studies. 12 of these projects have been completed, with the other 4 having just started earlier in 2013. 5 of the completed projects have now been licensed or optioned, and 4 of these deals are with startup companies. In 2 cases, the CEO of the company was the QED advisor matched to the project. These projects have combined to leverage over $9 million in follow-on funding post-QED. It's still too early to claim success, but the indication here is that this model is having an impact, which we hope will continue. In case you were wondering about what we funded in the past, here's a snapshot of our portfolio of funded projects broken down by technology area. You'll see it's fairly well balanced among different areas of life science. I've also listed some of the types of activities these projects have proposed. Obviously, the scope of work is going to be different for every project, but this list gives a sense of the general flavor that our reviewers are looking for, work that will convince private funders that a technology is not only viable, but can be made into a product or service for treating patients more effectively than current methods. There are a few things I'd ask you to consider if you're thinking about putting in a white paper. I mentioned that the institution contributes matching funds for the awards. Each organization has a different mechanism for doing this. We have some flexibility, but you should really speak with your organization's designated QED representative and possibly someone from your department as well to give them a heads up that you're considering QED so they're not caught off guard. There's also a limit on the indirect cost, and there's a revenue sharing provision if we fund your project and it ultimately gets licensed. These terms are the same across the board for all 22 participating organizations, and they've already been agreed upon. What's nice is that these terms only apply if you're offered a QED award, so it's free to play. We've also tried to make it convenient by having the white paper as a short, non-confidential document. Everything you need is on the website, and if you want to meet one-on-one to discuss a draft of your white paper, just get it into us by May 17th, which is our optional early deadline. Then you can revise and resubmit by our final deadline, which is June 17th. Here's the website where you can get all the information you need about the current QED application cycle. You can also get some general information about the program and some of the projects that we funded in the past on the general website. Here, the RFP website is where you can access the application forms and some other supplemental documents as well. If you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me directly, and here's my contact information, as well as Christopher Lang, who oversees all of the commercialization programs at the Science Center, including QED. So if you have any questions or need further information, you can feel free to reach out to any of us. Thanks a lot for viewing this presentation, and hopefully you found it helpful.